Hi folks, this is Eric of XR500 Only, and today I want to do a little bit of an inventory of what's in the garage because I need a reality check. I've got far too many projects and maybe you can help me focus on what to do next. So let's have a look at what's here. So the first thing is, actually it's good news, it's the XR100 that was used by my son. So he didn't really use very much because he quickly graduated to the 200 that's on the other side, and that's a neat little bike, and it's going to my friend Abe this week or next. We agreed on a deal. Prices are crazy at the moment, but I think he's getting a great deal, and for me he's going to make some space, some room on the trailer and in the garage, so it's great. So my son this year, April this year, graduated to this bike because he's so tall like me, right? He's only 13, but the 100 was just getting too small for him. So this one, the 200, we got it in a bit of a sad state, but it had good bones, and I can't really say that we did a restoration on this, but we just tidied it up and fixed a few things and made it look pretty. All of the decompression system was missing. That was a bit of a challenge to find all the parts on eBay and all the websites and so on and so forth. We had also a bit of trouble to have it registered with the local authorities because it had been out of the system for so long, but eventually it turned out actually very well because the fees on this bike were very, very low, and he's been enjoying it for the past few months now. It's really great. We made it look pretty. You know, we took off the whole of the rear suspension and painted the swing arm, put new stickers, and this friend of mine from France sent me this beautifully restored gas tank, because the gas tank on this bike was actually disintegrating. I'd never seen that. It just completely disintegrated. It was crazy, and we put a new headlight plate. He wanted to go with a black one instead of the original red one because this is a 1982 bike, but he preferred the black livery. Why not? But there is an issue with the lighting circuit. This bike is producing 24 volts. I've never seen that. So we need to. This is why there's no bulb inside there, because we blew up a few. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not very familiar with the electric system on this bike, so we're gonna have to do a bit of research. And I bought a little 6 volts regulator because I believe that originally this bike is 6 volts. And otherwise it looks good. I mean, one of the things that I'm thinking of doing on this bike is replacing the front fork with one of the 500 of the same year, just to make it a bit beefier. Because I find at least when I ride it, I find the front to be a little bit light, but maybe not. Maybe this bike doesn't need any more work, or we need also to adjust the preload on the rear shock because it's just too weak in my view. But otherwise, a great bike. So what else do we have here? So this one is the latest acquisition. This one is the XR500R, which is plated, so I can go on the road with this thing, although it does require some blinkers and stuff, which the old stuff, the old equipment that the guy had fitted, I just removed because it was all crummy and not really good. But this bike, I rode it twice only, and it's going super well. I must say that this is an absolute gem. It came with a big Clark tank. I just put the stickers on. The plastics, of course, were faded, but you know, we got like a whole stock of those plastics. Now with my son, we sort of polish them when we have nothing else to do. The white stickers are not very nice. I need to replace all of that. These are just sort of things to get started. It's got this super trap exhaust. I don't really like it, but you know, it's working well. And it came with a box that I don't have to show you. I don't have here to show it to you yet, but it came with a box of stuff, and inside the box there is a Mikuni 36mm with an external accelerator pump. Now that's going to be a nice piece of kit to look into at some point in the future. Otherwise, I think everything is pretty much in order on this bike. I just put a new tool bag. I also put a new light, but I'm going to put one of those lights with the opening for the license plate at the bottom, so we can, you know, it can be roadworthy. And I think this one is going to end up getting some suspension upgrades. I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute, both front and rear. Even the tires were in good condition, so this is great. What else do we have? Let's talk about another XR500 that's here. So this one was a phenomenal deal. Also, it just needed a bit of a cleanup. And the only thing that needs to be done on this bike is essentially, redoing the sealing of the rocker cover here, because there's a leak, of course, as we know, but at least it's one of the lucky leaks. It's the one that comes from the mating surfaces between the cylinder head and the rocker cover. And I need also new valve stem seals, because it's smoking a little bit on startup. Otherwise, this bike is just absolutely fantastic. I pumped up the shock absorber the other day, and this is pretty much exactly the way I bought it, apart again from the plastics, the cosmetics, the stickers. Brand new seat cover from Thailand, also same thing, a nice little pouch. And this one has got the original exhaust. So this one, the only thing it needs really is just a nut and bolt restoration to bring it back to absolutely beautiful. Oh, it's got a burst, a flat tire. Yeah, the rear tire is flat. The tires are actually completely finished, so I need to do that. And I've ordered a pair of black fork bellows. I hate those red ones. I've got another pair somewhere in a box. If somebody wants them, let me know. Happy to sell them for a few bucks. Got a brand new cable here for the speedometer. It did not have a speedometer. I actually nicked this one from my son's 200, and I put on the 200. I actually put one I bought on eBay from 185 XLS. So it's this one here, and it's great. He prefers this one because it's got the total kilometer count and the gears indicators all the way to 6 gears. So this is great. All right, what else do we have here? So we have this one. This one. This one. So this is an XLS, and as you can tell, it's got a number of interesting things going on here, right? The Super Trap, the White Brothers, and so on and so forth. The big tank. It's got a XR500R 83, 84 front fork, or maybe it's an XL600R. I don't know. I think that they are the same. It's got this brand new head plate, and this one I converted to 12 volts because it's plated also. And the plan with my son is that when he can ride on the road, we're gonna have two dual sports bike essentially. But this one needs a complete. I need to reopen the engine because it's I did it once and I did something stupid. I'm not going to talk about it now because it depresses me. I need to have it rebored and a bigger piston, and I need to put some sort of air filter box here. I'm still not sure whether I'm going to, put aluminum plates or put the original XLS plates. I don't know. I've got one for the left. I may look for one for the right, but it seems to me they're super expensive, so I don't know. And I need to get those shock absorbers or nice all-ins here. I need to get them tidied up a little bit. They work very well, but they look absolutely horrible. Otherwise, that bike, it's I've ridden it a couple of times. I need to do something about the chain guide that is over here, because it's eating, the chain is eating in the nylon. Not too sure I'm going to sort this out. We shall see. All right, what is next? Of course, this one, the HPF 500. This one is just ready to go, right? I can just ride it anytime. The only thing it needs is I've got the original airbox to put in here, but it's been for some reason all mangled up. I don't know why. It was not the one that was on this bike. I got it from another guy, so maybe I'm gonna have to rebuild one. It's really very narrow between, there's not much space between the carburetor and the shock absorbers. It's a very unusual shape. It's been running really well with this unifilter that I have to clean, of course, very often because it gets very dusty here. But maybe I just leave it like this and just put some side panels here. But this one, one day I'll do a nut and bolt restoration and let it go, because it deserves a much better pilot than me. It's got a really neat Super Trap here. It's got a Protec header. It's got, of course, the Fox forks and all of the goodies, the double leading shoe brake, and so on and so forth. All right, So now the leftover projects. This one is the Mexico bike. This is the one I went racing in the Baja with. It's gonna be almost 10 years and it hasn't moved very much since then. And what I need to do on this bike is take this engine out because it doesn't belong here. This engine actually belongs to the white bike that is there. I got the papers, so I got to put it back in there, but there's here a very neat cylinder head megacycle camshaft. A lot of work has gone into the top end of this engine, so I don't know if I keep it all like this, put it on the back on the white bike. Maybe that's an idea actually. Just keep it like this. Moving on, it's got Electron carburetor, and of course the CNJ frame, the CR250 tank that needs to be painted because it used to have this one for the Baja race. It had the big white tank that is over there. Well, not this one actually, because this one is brand new, but the similar one, period one, that I need to throw away because I don't know what I'm going to do with it. All right, and this one is going to get the motocross treatment, right? Like Al Baker and Johnny O'Mara back in the day wanted it with this crazy Honda CR plate of 1981. It's got also here a CR450 front forks. I'm not sure I'm going to keep these, but really neat. Shock absorbers all inside the back. The gunner gasser. I mean, this one really, I went all out on this one, but the seat is so hard. I really hurt my butt on that race. And this one is the ugly duckling, because I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't have papers for this bike. It would cost near $1,000 to get it re-registered. But I started projects on this thing, like fitting in here a CR. Let me show you here. A CR swing arm from 1981, and I never finished that project. Now I'm thinking of putting all of this suspension stuff on this one here with the long range tank, and the front forks are those that I used in the Mexico race. These are from a CR480R of 1983. Yeah, this is 1983. Phenomenal. So maybe I'm gonna also put these on that bike over there. All of that requires a ton of time. What next? Oh yes, this, you got to see this. This is the 591cc project that is been going on for so many years. It's all written up on the website if I manage to remove that thing. Alright, so there's just not enough time to go over all that's in that bike, between the billet clutch basket, the megacycle cam, the brand new chain, the brand new sprocket, the valves, the larger valves, the titanium tips, the S&W springs, and of course the 591cc big bore inside of here, and no balancers and so on. So this one is the full power machine, but I still have to get a few things done with the rocker cover and the valve covers. Anyway, so that's the view of all of the projects. Let me know what it is that you think I should go first. Oh, and of course there's the FT500. This is one of the FT500 engines. We got one that's ready to go. Well, it's all in pieces, but we did pretty much all of the changes we need to do to put in a XR off-road frame. Another project that we haven't finished. There's a few more engines out there. There's also an XR500R at the bottom there with maybe I should sell all these parts. Anyway, let me know and have fun.